Hi everyone, my name is Mubarak and I'm a founder of an early stage tech startup. This is my first YouTube video and I'm so excited to share with you guys some of the relatively unconventional things I'm learning, but I find them very valuable and not so much people are talking about them on the mainstream media. So today I want to talk about the idea of building a successful tech company without VC money. Now, this is not something I've done yet myself. But the inspiration and how to do something like this is something I've been learning from one of the most phenomenal tech startup founders called Jason Fried. Now, Jason Fried is very, very popular for consistently advocating the idea of building tech companies and successful software companies without necessarily raising any VC money.
You can absolutely do that. So you don't have to buy into the myth that you need to raise a bunch of money to do these sorts of things. Most businesses in the world are like ours. Self-funded businesses. People in this industry who don't know, they think that's the way to start a business, but actually it's not the way to start most businesses.
Now, you probably know already that Jason Fried is the founder of a very impressive tech company called Basecamp. And Basecamp is a very different company based on the way they built the company and the way they run the company. And there's so much to learn from them. But today I want to focus on the fact that they are fully bootstrapped and what we can learn from that. I am not against raising money, and there are so many people who have raised money and done really, really well. And that in itself is not the problem. But when you're trying to raise money from a VC as an early stage founder, or when you raise money from a VC as a founder, there are a lot of things that people don't really think about or people are not so informed about that I'm trying to explore. Now, if you know anything about the tech startup scene in general, you probably already know that it's a major part of the culture to at some point raise venture capital money in the process of building your company. The problem is when you start focusing more on how you're going to raise money or how you're going to impress investors rather than how you're going to build a great product and impress your customers and build a great company. Like personally, I found myself increasingly thinking more about what I have to do to be able to raise money, like what investors want to see, like how many users should I have, what I should put in my product, watching all these videos to understand what investors want, rather than actually focusing and doubling down 100% on what I should do to build a great product that people want and want to pay for and impress my customers. And yes, a lot of times what you have to do to impress investors or what investors want to see and what you have to do to build a great company and a great product usually overlap. But I think it's just not very healthy for a founder to be much more focused on impressing investors than impressing his customers. Another really interesting thing that Jason Fried is very outspoken about is the idea of building a company for the long term rather than just building a company to exit.
I don't like to have to go public or sell the business or something on someone else's schedule because they want their money back, which is why we've always been bootstrapped and we're completely funded by customer revenues.
Now, it's really not common that you hear a tech company founder say that he's not interested in doing an exit or selling his company, because that's usually seen as the holy grail of building a tech company. And there's no problem with doing an exit. It's all right. And some exits actually really make sense. But the problem is building a company for the sole sake of exiting at some point and making lots of money. Anyways, if you raise VC money, you will have to exit at some point because that's the only way that the VC would make the VC dream kind of returns, which is usually 10,000x or even more. And most VCs would only invest in you if you are a potential big exit. In fact, if you go to most VC websites, you will see that they actually publicly advertise how many companies they've had exits with, which, to be honest, this is the VC business model. Invest in a lot of companies, have a few big exits, and make a lot of money. But what happened to building really interesting companies that would actually last long and not just build the companies for the sake of selling them? What happened to building companies like Basecamp, which if you think about it, that's actually how most companies that we know of today that are very successful, that's actually how they are built. And this is why I think it's really impressive that people like Jason Fried are being great examples and inspiring the fact that you can build an amazing company without necessarily raising VC money And you can do that for the long term, not just to exit.
And by the way, you can build a wonderful business. Like, we've been in business for 16 years. I don't give exact numbers, but we generate tens of millions of dollars in profits every year. We are an LLC, and we do things our own way and don't answer to anybody but our customers and ourselves.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate that you took your time to listen to what I have to say, but more importantly is that I'm really curious to learn from you guys as well. So let me know what you think about this topic in general in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.